In this video, I want to talk about a few of the downsides of being a full-time entrepreneur. These are things that I didn't expect, and these are things that I think hold people back from giving it a try. And look, I am 100% not saying that entrepreneurship is bad. Becoming an entrepreneur, doing this full-time is probably the greatest thing that I've ever done in my life. So this video is just to bring out some of the things that you might not expect. Some of the things, anything good has some downsides, and that's what I want to talk about here. But of course, entrepreneurship is the greatest thing I've ever done. I mean, it is taking your life into your own hands. It is giving yourself the time freedom to do whatever you want. I'm filming this on a Wednesday at like noon, and I went for a bike ride this morning. It's just a chill day. It's beautiful. It's hot here. I'm probably sweating on the video. Summer is in full force in LA finally, and I'm probably not going to do much else that looks like work today because I'm just choosing to do that. And I for sure take it for granted a lot of the time. So this video might be a little reminder to me too, is like, look, the other side is much, much, much worse than these downsides that I'm talking about here. And while I wouldn't trade it for anything, any job at any salary or anything, I just can't function that way. It's just not in my blood anymore. But I still think it can be valuable to you watching, because maybe one of these is something that's holding you back or something that you're afraid of, and hopefully this can give you a shift to go for it. So I want to just get straight into it. So let's get these things out of the way. Smash the like button, subscribe to this channel if you have not already, and leave comments. Not only do I read and respond, but it also helps feed the YouTube algorithm and potentially push this video out to more people to make this more worthwhile and to make me motivated to keep doing this. I've been trying to do it a lot more frequently lately, so let's get this going. So I'll start with what is for me the absolute single most difficult thing about being an entrepreneur. And I think this really does separate people that are in a job environment and stuck there from people that go out and do something on their own. And this is the fact that nobody tells you what to do. You're the one that has to figure out what to do. So it's not just a matter of hustle and grind and whatever, it's being your own boss. Like, we hear that phrase a lot, but it is literally that. It is, you have to be the manager, you have to be the visionary, you have to be the one doing the stuff, because nobody is going to just list out exactly what you could do. Sure, there's YouTube videos and courses and things like that that do kind of try to give you step-by-step plans, but you still have to figure it out. You have to be the one that figures out what you're gonna do today. When are you gonna work? What are you gonna work on? What's the next step? How do I do this? I don't know. I have to figure it out. I have to Google. I have to ask people. I have to get people around me that can help me. And I have to be in charge of what I am doing. And this comes really hard for entrepreneurs, or at least it comes really hard for me, because I think a lot of what drives us to be entrepreneurs and to live differently and to take this different path is exactly what makes us bad at sticking to schedules and being organized. And those traits are things that I am personally not good at. But to be an entrepreneur, to really make this happen in any business model, you have to have the discipline to dive in and figure out what's next. What do I do? What am I going to do? And then actually have the drive to just make it happen and just to do it. And I get that this might seem a little obvious, but I think there's, if it seems obvious, maybe there's a layer deeper that you're not quite yet imagining if you are in school or you are in a job. But we've been conditioned since we were babies to just follow instructions. We're just conditioned to show up to school and be told what to do and when to do and all of that, and then apply to the school, and then everything is just leading to the next thing, and just follow the path, do the things, check the boxes, and that's it. And then all of a sudden you jump into entrepreneurship and you're just like thrown out the window, and you just have to figure it all out. This is the same reason that I think a lot of people that have jobs would make such great entrepreneurs. It's this weird thing. Like, I know people that are really hardworking, really organized people, and they don't try to be entrepreneurs. And I'm like, you would be better than me by so much, because I don't know what I'm doing. Like, it's so hard. Us entrepreneurs have scattered brains for the most part. Like, we have ideas and we're creative and we want to do this and this and this and this and this. But a lot of what makes it work is just figuring out the steps and then taking those action steps. It's like a very basic thing. So some of what has helped me with this one, and I am very much still a work in progress in this, but writing things down, making lists, writing out your goals, writing out your next day tasks, just getting things organized and on paper helps a lot. None of our brains are perfect, and you can't remember everything, and you can't keep it all in there. So the more you can organize and just get things out and written down, I find that helps. I might do a video soon, we'll see, about like sort of my journaling and organizational methods for getting things done, though I almost hesitate to do it because I'm still much more of a mess than you probably think. The next one is more of something that stops people from starting rather than just a day in, day out, what sucks about being a full-time entrepreneur. But I think this one is really important because a lot of people don't realize they have this fear, and this is what stops them from going for this lifestyle that they want. So this is the fact of facing your fate and realizing that as an entrepreneur, you are responsible for your outcomes. And this might sound a little out there or a little philosophical or a little heady compared to the other ones. And sorry about the noise in the background. I don't know if the microphone is picking that up, but there's construction right next door, so I'm gonna just keep going. So by ditching the job and going after something yourself, you're taking responsibility for the result, which is terrifying, because if things go really well, then that's because you did it and that's great. But if you fail and you fall on your face in front of everybody and you go broke or whatever, you are responsible for your outcome compared to just going to a job and putting in the hours to get the paycheck. And this is the same reason that your friends or family might be holding you back and telling you that this is stupid and it won't work, because they have always been afraid of going for what they really want. Because if you really go for what you want and then it doesn't work, you're responsible. You did it. You messed up. But if you just don't try, or you talk yourself out of it and you say, oh, that's not that great, or oh, that doesn't work because of this, this, and this, then it takes the responsibility off of you. So it's easier to not go for it. It's easier to just say that won't work. It's easier to just say I'm not going to try, because if I don't try, then it doesn't matter. It's like in school when you get, a C or a B on your exam and you're just like, oh, well, I didn't try. Because if you tried and you got a C, now you'd feel like you suck. But if you just say, oh, well, I didn't try anyways, then it takes that responsibility off of you. So this is one that absolutely separates people that will succeed and go on and build businesses and create the lifestyle that they want from people that will just never really jump in, is taking that responsibility for the outcome. And some of the best advice I could offer here would be to think about what Tim Ferriss refers to as fear setting and writing out the worst case scenarios. What would happen if this went wrong, that went wrong? What would I do? Who would I call? What are potential solutions to these problems that I am so afraid of? What if I don't have an income for 3 months? What would I do if I had to live off half of the living expenses that I currently do? Kind of mapping these out can ease the fear of going for it. The next downside is probably the most prevalent and gets a lot of attention. A lot of people for sure feel this and can relate to it. And this is that entrepreneurship can be lonely. As an entrepreneur, especially in the beginning, some people go on to build massive teams and all of that and sort of recreate a workspace, but that's a kind of a different entrepreneur. I think most of us are trying to build lifestyle businesses, trying to, create income so we can free ourselves of a job, try to have the time freedom to do what we want, but not necessarily build our own corporate environment. We're trying to get out of that environment. But one of the things that corporate jobs have that we don't have is the social aspect. And as humans, we're social creatures. We thrive off connections with people and fun. It's just fun to be around people. Like, I'm sure we've all had jobs where we're just having fun with the people around us and we're hysterically laughing. Or school, you're in like a group project and you're just screwing around the whole time and having fun. Like, even though you're doing things that you might not like, having people around can make it enjoyable. And when you're diverging off that path and you start doing something different than all the people around you, different than your friends, your family has no idea what you're doing, you can feel a little crazy. You can feel like nobody around you understands what you're going for, or even just having these goals people don't understand. It's like, what do you mean? You think you can go do that or live like this or whatever? People will think you're crazy for wanting to break out of the shell. But and I know that it is possible and that it is worth trying to break through, because the alternative is just trading your years now for this supposed retirement. And by doing that, you're trading your current life for a hypothetical maybe life, and you don't even know what's to come in the future. What we're all going for, it's not crazy, but it does kind of make us isolated. And the solution here is this, I think. I mean, this for me as the creator has changed completely, because it has changed my situation in entrepreneurship in terms of like who's around me completely. Because, years ago I was completely in solitude, and now there are Facebook groups, there are comments on YouTube videos, there are, podcasts you can at least hear from other people. There's local meetups, there's conferences, there's events. There are a lot of ways to get that. And even just connecting through social media. I mean, I don't think that is that bad. That is definitely a step above no connection. You still can have relationships with people digitally. Like, I've met so many of you through DMs and all of that, and it just helps to go through these things with people. Personally, for me, I'm definitely on the introverted side, and this one I think took years to even catch up with me. And still a lot of the time, I think it's kind of awesome to like not have to deal with all that. I mean, this is also a disguised perk of being on your own, is like you don't have to deal with a lot of stupid people, and you don't have to deal with a lot of stupid shit that you don't want to deal with. That's why this is awesome in the first place, right? But even me, and I'm sure even you, like, we still need that connection. We still need to go through things with people. So as you go into this, I do suggest, getting some people around you somehow that are going through the same journey that you are. So, I mean, overall, the day in, day out of being an entrepreneur definitely has some minor downsides that I'm curious if these were a little eye-opening potentially, or what you thought of these. But overall, this is an awesome thing. And considering you're watching this video, you're probably on this path, and I just want to reassure you that you're on the right path. And it can often feel like you're not on the right path when everything around you is not conducive to that. It's not agreeing with you. And to the person watching this that absolutely loves their job and is just trying to do a side hustle, that's great. Obviously, all that really matters is that you are doing what you want. But me, and I'm sure a lot of you guys watching, are on the same wavelength as me, which is just that we can't function in that environment, and we know there's another way to live. So let me know what you thought about this video. Leave comments. I will be reading 100% of them and responding to 99.9% of them. You can test me. I really do mean it. And I'd love to know what you think of the videos recently. I've been trying to stick on this more frequent schedule and doing pretty well, I would say, but I'm curious just like what you think of the quality of content, the topics. Over time, I am trying to get this to be a little bit broader, and also to bring in new people so we can cover more topics of making your life awesome. So please do smash the like button, subscribe to this channel if you are interested in entrepreneurship and improving all aspects of your life. You can check out links in the description. There's all kinds of resources and stuff you can check out there, and see you next video.